just to let everyone know beforehand, we'll do a little bit of Torah learning, and then before we start Musaf or go and learn with John, we are going to have a quick fire drill, and that will be led by Alan and Earl. So stay tuned. Shabbat Shalom. Every morning and afternoon, in the finale of our weekday prayer, Tachanun, we appeal to God for support in dealing with our lack of knowledge of what is coming next that morning or afternoon. Va'anachnu lo neda ma na'aseh, and we do not know what we will do, God, but our eyes are turned to you. While a liturgical and philosophical focus on uncertainty is nothing new to humankind or to the Jewish tradition, that term and that theme, uncertainty, seem to be popping up a whole lot more than usual in conversations. Words like confused or worried or anxious or unclear seem to be increasingly appearing in news stories and in personal conversations alike. Maybe it's something in the air, but more than a couple of times in the past few weeks, I've responded to the question, how in the world could you make the choice to produce new life at this moment in time? When I think about the necessity of moving forward with hope, even at times when we have no idea what tomorrow will bring, I think about the women who work together time and time again to preserve and grow the people Israel throughout their tenure as slaves in Egypt. In Parshat Shemot, which we read 2 weeks ago, a new Pharaoh devises what he believes to be a brilliant plan to stop the growth of the people Israel. The Pharaoh enslaves the Israelites and increases their labor in both intensity and amount. Maybe, Pharaoh thinks, the Israelites' morale will lower so much that they will not want to be romantic with each other, or maybe even their morale will lower so much that they will not want to bring more children into the world. One midrash from Shemot Rabbah offers the interpretation that the Israelites' tasks take so much time, the tasks that they are assigned from the Egyptians, that the Israelites do not even have time to go home at night and sleep in their own beds. Whether or not the Israelites have time to sleep in their beds, somehow, while Pharaoh enslaves the Israelites with the clear intention of pen yirbeh, lest they increase, our Torah teaches that v'cha'asher ya'anu oto kein yirbeh v'chein yifrotz. When the Egyptians would afflict the Israelites, they would still increase and they would still multiply. Astonished, the rabbis of Shemot Rabbah ask, how could the Israelites increase and multiply when they can't even sleep in the same beds? In an act of rebellion, the Midrash answers itself, the women of Israel take it upon themselves to travel to their husbands' work sites and prepare beautiful fish dinners for them. Dinner is followed by a bath, scented oils, something nice to drink, and of course, a romantic enough evening to create the next generation of Israelite children. Especially in a time of uncertainty, when the Israelites have no ownership of their own lives or the lives of their children, the Israelite women know the power of grasping onto hope and some joy. They know the difference one date night can make, and they know the great hope that just one more generation of children can inspire. Today, too, and at any time when uncertainty seems to be more present than usual, it is more important than ever to grasp onto what gives us laughter and love, satisfaction and hope. And yet, that laughter, love, satisfaction, and hope can sometimes seem like too tall of an order if most of what we can see right now is anxiety. As one simple response to the paralysis uncertainty can bring, in her book, The Amen Effect, Rabbi Sharon Brous introduces the concept of taking what she calls a joy break. She writes of her friend Shifra's experience while in mourning for the loss of her perpetually joyful husband. In her husband's memory, Shifra, quote, made a commitment that every day throughout her year of mourning, she would go out of her way to experience 18 minutes of joy and then journal about it. Some of these joy breaks were with others, some were alone, some took her to new places, others had her bring greater intentionality into everyday experience. A lot of them brought her into nature. Once she danced by herself in her house. Learning from Shifra's experience, Rabbi Brous advises the readers to try just a few minutes a day, just a few minutes each day, of consciously doing something you absolutely love just because you love it. Remember, joy does not preclude mourning but lives inside of it. If we love fully, we should celebrate fully, even as we grieve deeply. For Rabbi Sharon Brous and her friend Shifra, just a few minutes a day of simple enjoyment can offer the energy and inspiration necessary to keep moving through the grief and uncertainty that life is bound to throw at us. When we are grieving or when we feel immobilized or overwhelmed with fears or big choices, one simple thing that we can do is to center ourselves with something we know we will enjoy. For me, that's a quick yoga practice or a break devoted to petting the dogs. It might also be just to notice and to take an extra minute to stay when I'm enjoying something, when I'm sharing laughter with someone, or when I'm in awe of my surroundings. These joy moments do not require a whole lot of decision-making, and they don't have to do much to affect the state of our personal lives or the wider world around us. They are actions that remind us of what is worth fighting to preserve and what is worth savoring for as long as we can. Maybe, as in Shifra's case, they are actions that remind us of someone or something we no longer have that we can somehow still grasp right here and right now, even just for a moment. Regardless, these joy moments give us the relief, the energy, and the clarity of mind to proceed with courage, maybe even enthusiasm, when we encounter the unknown or the painful. Today, for example, was the perfect time, I think, for Phil to celebrate his bar mitzvah, the anniversary of his bar mitzvah. He took, and we took as a community, just a moment. And for him, it was a lot of preparation, but we took just a moment to choose something to celebrate, to choose to sing Mazal Tov. And for Phil, he chose to do something that he truly enjoys, to study Torah, I would imagine for quite a while, to have gotten to all of those 7 aliyot and that Haftarah. Phil as an individual and we as a community, even in times of uncertainty, Phil and us as a community chose this moment to celebrate because we can. In times of uncertainty, the hope that we fuel through little moments of joy can be an act of resistance. We will be able to make enough of a difference so that we and those around us can continue to experience joy, love, and laughter. Our next generation will continue to carry that potential for joy, love, and laughter. And if nothing else, the hope we foster today will enable those who will live long after us to fight for a world powered by our values, powered by our dreams for the future. Certainly, we do not need to, and we should not grin and bear our confusion or our grief silently if it's there. Even through hope and real growth in our Torah, the Israelites groan under their bondage and cry out to God. The Israelite women do not just spend their time romancing their husbands. Just from what we read in Torah, 2 midwives saved the lives of countless Israelite babies, and one mother and sister worked together to ensure that their Hebrew son and brother will experience love and will grow up to be royalty. So too, We cry out and complain, otherwise who would know that anything was wrong? So too, we take action against the injustice that we experience, either against us personally or as a society. Otherwise, who else would take on those steps? In order to have the stamina and the inspiration to choose which injustices to fight first, to choose what to cry about to whom, to choose who to donate to or volunteer for, we need to remind ourselves first of the love that inspires us to worry so much in the first place. Va'anachnu lo neda ma na'aseh, we say in Tachanun. We do not know what to do, God, but our eyes are turned to you. God, please help us to know how to face new experiences and realities with strength and courage. And please help us to see opportunities for levity and true joy throughout it all. Shabbat Shalom.